talk about big money moves. Microsoft announced that they're buying Activision for near $70 billion, with a B, billion dollars. Talk about sweeping up the competition. This is an insane development. I mean, the IP they're getting from this is insane. I mean, they're going to get Call of Duty, which is just a money printer, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk. That's insane. And that's just on the Activision side. Not to mention Blizzard, which are going to get Diablo, StarCraft, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Hearthstone. I mean, good grief. It's going to be crazy what kind of impact this is going to have on the industry. I don't think it's as negative as a lot of people seem to think. I know it's kind of consolidating and kind of creating a duopoly / triopoly. Is that a word? Between, the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. It's kind of weird putting Nintendo in that group, considering they're really doing their own thing, and they have been since freaking forever. So if we focus on Sony and Microsoft, I don't know if it's immediately negative, considering that at least since really the end of the 360 era, I feel like Microsoft in the gaming space has been kind of on a downhill trend. I mean, their console sales have lagged way behind Sony. And as impressive as the 360 was, which was a resounding success, it in the long run did actually get outsold by Sony. And a big part of that was just the amazing amount of games and IP that Sony possesses and has put out. Microsoft is spending a ton of money and buying up a lot of real estate here, especially considering they just bought Bethesda a while back. I think it ultimately helps them compete more with Sony. And the big question is, what about the multi-platform games like Call of Duty? And Phil Spencer did talk a little bit about that. He actually tweeted, "Had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision and Blizzard, and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry, and we value our relationship." Now, this could just be paying lip service. My immediate thought is anything that already had an existing contract, obviously like your Warzone or Overwatch, like those things aren't just gonna disappear overnight from Sony consoles. The bigger question is stuff down the road. Your next Call of Duties, or Overwatch 2 is coming out. I assume that still has an existing contract with Sony. I would imagine that would still come out. The question is just the future. Your things down the line. Diablo 4, that one is already coming out for PlayStation and whatnot. So, but the future, Diablo 5, who knows what that one's going to be for? Any new Crash, because we got Crash Bandicoot 4 a while back. So if they make a fifth one or a new Spyro, it's interesting to see where those will fall. I would assume all these games are going to end up on Game Pass, because clearly Microsoft is putting all their eggs in the Game Pass basket. They're clearly going for a Netflix-style subscription is the future kind of way. And the value is amazing. You pay $15 a month for Game Pass, and you get how many 100 games? I think that's what Xbox is banking on, that people would rather have a ton of games for a cheap monthly price. And you also have the ability to just subscribe for a month or two, play a bunch of games, and then hop off. So if you're playing tons of games, I feel like it's hard to beat that price. And the fact that Microsoft is so focused on Game Pass makes me wonder if maybe their goal isn't necessarily to remove some of these third parties from Sony, because it seems like more and more their goal isn't necessarily to sell Xbox Ones per se, because all their exclusives now come out on PC. Halo Infinite was on PC, Gears of War 5. I think they said all their new first-party games are going to be on PC, which now all these are first-party, including Bethesda. So clearly with the focus on PC, I don't think that they don't care if you play it and buy an Xbox One per se. They just want you playing on Game Pass and paying that constant $15 a month. I wonder if it's actually possible that Game Pass could end up on Sony, like a PlayStation 5 type deal. I don't know if Sony would want that because, you know, they've got PlayStation Now, and they probably are looking at ways to expand that to create their own Game Pass style kind of system. They're in a spot though because they got so many exclusives and they sell so well that they don't necessarily need that. Overall, I don't think it's a net negative, but it's really hard to say. I mean, I don't think the deal is technically finalized yet. I mean, it's going through. So, and you know, there's so many contracts now that it'll be a while before we really see how this all shakes out and what Xbox's long-term deal is. But I think they're really doing it and trying to bolster their Game Pass and get people to move towards that. That seems really where they're headed. I do think one silver lining is actually that all that negative bullshit press that was coming from Activision and Blizzard, all the harassment and shit, I'd like to think that this is a way to kind of wipe the slate clean. Sounds kind of shitty because it's like you did fuck over a lot of people, but I would like to think that maybe Microsoft could come in like, hey, this shit stops and we're gonna start over, we're gonna fix whatever wrongs that were made and we can move on from here in a good way. That's what I hope. And I think because listen, at this point Bobby is just cancer to the company, so it's not surprising that I think they already said that once this deal finalizes, he's basically out. It's just nuts to think about the IP they got, man. I mean, certain things like Overwatch or like Hearthstone, I mean, they have like this huge following already all to themselves, and now they're getting added to Microsoft's, I assume, Game Pass, obviously. So it's like, man, it is crazy. I thought the Game Pass value was already insane, but now it's even more ridiculous. And to think Diablo 4 now is going to come out day one on Game Pass. God, that's huge. That's not even talking about WoW. I mean, World of Warcraft, love it or hate it, is still massive. And is that getting added to Game Pass? I don't know. I don't even know how that would work because of its own subscription. WoW could be the one they actually keep off of Game Pass just because it has its own subscription anyways. But maybe not. Maybe they'll throw it on Game Pass anyways. I mean, we're in a whole new world here. It's crazy to think how this is all going to shake out. Who fucking knows? And now at this point, God, you want to talk about crossovers? I guess it wouldn't be a crossover now. It'd just all be Microsoft. If Microsoft did a Smash Bros, PlayStation All-Stars style game, but all their own? I mean, now you can pull characters from Overwatch, Spyro, Crash, Gears of War, Halo. I mean, the possibilities are huge now. And you don't have to pay any other companies to get characters like Nintendo was doing. You can just use that shit. It's crazy. You know, everyone made fun of Microsoft for only having Gears, Halo, and Forza. And you know what? Phil Spencer took that personally.